So one of the reasons we want to find the center of balance in our horse's foot and then trim or shoe it accordingly is this ruler is 6 inches long, and so when you have it in the center it balances. So when the weight of the horse comes down on top of this ruler or the horseshoe, it will sink straight into the soft dirt because it has an equal amount of area on either side of the center of balance. But if, like a lot of horses, they get more foot out to the front than they do to the back, when the weight comes down, because there's a greater surface area at the toe than there is at the heel will sink in the ground and the toe will rise, which puts all kinds of strain on all our tendons, ligaments, overflexes joints, most everything that causes the horse to go lame. But if we have it equal, or when we shoe a horse with a little bit of an extension to heel at the back, when we tested some well-balanced horses that had really good feet, I found out that a horse has 1/4 of an inch more foot to the rear of his foot than he does to the toe. So now there's a greater surface at the back side of the center of balance than there is at the front. So then when the weight of the horse comes down, because there's less surface area at the toe is more apt to sink into the ground, which alleviates our tendons, ligaments, all our overflexion of the joints, and that allows our horse to pass farther over the leg before everything comes tight and the horse has to break over to make its next stride. So here's a horseshoe, and we measured the center. The horseshoe itself is 4.5 inches. So I went 2 1/4. So there's this much shoe to the front and this much to the back. So there's actually more surface shoe area because of the toe, but that's where the frog comes in, fills in the rear portion of the foot. Plus, when we shoe a horse, we usually leave some extension with the shoe a little bit longer than the heel, adding a little more surface area to the rear. But when you trim a horse and you leave a whole bunch of hoof wall or with a wedged shoe, the frog is then up in the air a ways. When the horse steps in the soft ground, the little bit of wedge that you have or the extra shoe that you have pushes into the soft ground until the frog actually comes in contact with the ground. So it's really your frog that controls how far your horse's foot is going to sink into the ground, more so than the hoof wall. So trimming a horse and leaving a whole bunch of heel to stand it up, that may look good on the floor. Same with a wedged shoe. It looks good when your horse is standing on a hard surface on the floor, but when he's out in the arena in the soft dirt, it's not doing your horse an awful lot of good.